okay, this was supposed to be our very first live episode of this show, which is something that I've been testing out lately, doing something like this live. And I think we might have been live for like, I don't know, 10 seconds maybe, or a minute. Maybe not even that. Maybe not even that. I'm not even seeing it in the archive here on my YouTube. I'm not even seeing it on the archive on my YouTube, because I'm like, okay, I've got to delete that if that's in there. I'm not seeing, it's probably still on there. So right now on my YouTube might be about 10 seconds of us talking about this, and it cut out. It just completely cut and gave out right before you were about to say what you thought of this movie.
Right.
Which is hilarious, because it just looks like we just fucking trolled everyone.
What did you think of this movie?
Yeah. This might be something that we'll need to start doing, like, in warmer weather, maybe. Because not even hooking up to the charger or anything really helped all that much. Like, it seemed to kind of die out pretty fast, unless it's just the stream itself fucking up.
You know what? I blame me. I'm back, and here it is, just, suddenly,
But you had to be here at this one, though, because like I said in the 20 seconds of live material that we had, you love two things in this world: Warcraft and your fucking country. Already got my
Damn
tickets,
right,
bro.
America.
Already got my tickets, bro.
Got my tickets.
So this is Peter Berg's Patriots Day, which is the movie about the Boston Marathon bombing.
Yeah.
So what'd you think? Do you want to go first?
Yeah. I was just mostly unamused. I thought there was a lot of stereotypes in this movie. They showed the terrorists, and of course they're all Muslims.
Well, yeah.
Well, I know that these particular terrorists were Muslims, but it's just that the whole thing is, nowadays, we live in a world where we equate terrorism with Muslims, and that's just not the case. And I just hate it whenever things like that are encouraged.
I don't think this movie did that. I think this movie was really just showing what happened in this situation. And in terms of the characters being Muslim, they do have a collection of... The movie does have a collection of people of all different kinds in Boston who have come together to find these guys. When the interrogation is going on, it's also being done... The interrogation is being done by someone who is a Muslim.
Actually, no, she wasn't. In fact, that was the whole point. She took off the I think it's called a shirka.
Oh, I didn't know that meant that she wasn't one.
Well, she was taking it off, and she was just saying she knew. She was like, yeah, she saw right through it.
Oh, that she. Oh, well,
yeah.
I didn't gather that from the scene, but I didn't. I mean, maybe you're right, but again, I didn't think that this movie was hateful. To me, this was just a movie about coming together to get these guys.
Okay, so you got that, and then you got the Asian guy that nobody can understand.
But that's how that guy talked. Like, when it shows him in interviews, that's how he talks. I mean,
I guess that's true. He was in the...
No one's going up to him and saying, like, I don't know what you're saying, just do my math. Like, no one says that to him. Like, I've seen the kinds of movies that you're talking about, and I didn't get that vibe from this. Like, to me, this was just about people coming together to really find and hunt these guys down.
Yeah, which was
whereas a movie like, say, Hillary's America would have ended with a hate crime and called it a happy ending. Like, I didn't get that vibe from this film. What I got out of this was very much that it's just kind of a docudrama about this situation.
Sure.
I totally know the kinds of movies you're talking about. I've seen many of them. This wasn't something like God's Not Dead, to me anyway. Like, where it's very us versus them. If you're not us, then, you know, verbally abuse your wife, or you beat your children, or you're going to die of cancer or some shit like that. I didn't get that here. And in fact, one of the interesting things about the movie was you spend a lot of time with the two brothers in this, in which they're like Dumb and Dumber. Like, they're like, dude's talking about his Bluetooth and shit.
More like Psycho and just college bro.
Psycho and Ted Theodore Logan. Which, again, from what I understand, fairly accurate. If Ted Theodore Logan knew how to make a pressure cooker. But no, I didn't have that problem with this movie. You did, though?
There was just a lot of things that, like I said, Okay, so that, and, you know, those like, security country bros, you know, sitting around drinking beer, playing Call of Duty, and singing country songs, which is exactly what they did.
I agree with you. I agree with you there. The movie does a lot of what this kind of movie usually does, where it does a lot of like
pandering,
regional pandering. Yeah, that you would see if like something like this was taking place in New York or the South. Or somewhere. In this movie's case, Boston. You have a lot of regional pandering in this. Like in the first part, within seconds, someone gets called a chowder head. And it really happens.
Really? I missed that.
In the cop scene at the beginning with Wahlberg, like he calls the guy like a chowder head. And there's like Red Sox talk and stuff like that.
Yeah, but dude is like nitpicking how his wife says socks.
Which again, I'm sure is something that does happen. Things like that do happen regionally. And
the Red Sox.
But it certainly was regional pandering. But the movie had a lot of strengths, I thought. To me, it did have some weaknesses to it, but at the movie's core, it very much presents this as like a docudrama, not unlike when Paul Greengrass did United 93. It mixes in movie footage and like actual footage.
Which I like that.
I did too.
I like that.
I love Peter Berg as a director. I thought the direction in this movie was more often than not fantastic.
I honestly think that if you are going to do a docudrama like that, you should do that. You should incorporate some like actual like footage, whether it be from the media or from or from surveillance cameras like they did. So I definitely like that. Let's go back to the regional pandering, because I want to talk about the scene where the security guard asks out the scientist, and he's like, "We're going to go see the Zac Brown band. You in?" And she's like, "Well, I like my chicken fried, cold beer on a Friday night." God, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. It'd be like, damn it. It would be like if, you know, the movie's taking place in Detroit, like, I got them Seeger tickets. No, I do agree with that, but that was very little of this movie. I'm typing in on Twitter right now. No live stream tonight.
No
sorry.
Live stream tonight. Boo.
But,
hashtag blame Jared.
Yeah, blame my ass for locking us out of the car. Well, that happened, by the way.
Yeah.
We're running a little late here, but like, anyway, no, like I liked that a lot of minor characters were given a little bit of backstory in this. Sometimes that worked for me. Other times, I could have taken or leave.
I will say, as the movie went on, I got to thinking to myself, why are we even worried about this Asian guy? What has he got to do with the story? And then he was kidnapped, and I'm like, Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I liked that. I liked spending a lot of time with J.K. Simmons before he really comes into the action that's going on.
Fletcher.
I enjoyed that the movie really is almost like watching like a procedural in a way. Like, we see the event as it happens. It mixes in actual footage with fake footage, and it is violent, but it's violent and bloody because it has to be, not because it wants to be.
Yeah.
And there's a difference there. Like,
it tugs at your heartstrings.
I don't mean necessarily that, but I mean, like, it's not. If Mel Gibson directed this, it would have looked like Cannibal Ferox suddenly happened in the middle of the street. But
oh my god!
Like,
now, if Mel Brooks had directed this, it would be way more offensive, but it would be hilarious.
It's a very funny movie. Didn't know they could get comedy out of this, but like, it's really showing how the FBI comes into it, who's Kevin Bacon, and the makeshift center that they set up to basically, with chalk and tape, map out the city itself on the ground and try to determine where these guys went. And one thing that I really liked here was the fact that it does incorporate actual footage into the movie. The guys they got playing the two terrorists were...
You mentioned that.
Holy...
Like,
I leaned over to you and I'm like, did they break him out of prison just so he could play himself? Like, that seems risky.
Right. Hell, just wait until it comes out on DVD. They'll probably get it in prison and he'll be like, holy shit.
Yeah. No, the guys they got playing, the brothers, are... identical to how they looked in real life.
Can I just do a classic Jared moment? Kevin Bacon was in this?
Yeah. Wait, you didn't know that?
I did not notice.
He was one of the main characters.
I did not notice.
You didn't know that was him?
Which one was he?
He was the FBI agent, the one with the glasses.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I guess it's makeup or something. I just did not notice.
There really wasn't. It was Kevin Bacon. He just had this, Superman and Clark Kent. I'm sorry, I won't be that asshole. I'm sorry.
Why not? You usually are.
I've grown in my years. I've mellowed out a little bit. In a lot of ways.
I don't know. I guess maybe it just was too
enthralled.
Yes, I was just so enthralled in this movie.
I thought it was a suspenseful movie.
I said, the scene, like I said, while we were waiting for the tow truck.
Yeah, we did kind of review this already.
Like, I was entertained during the gunfight scene. And it did get suspenseful while they were searching for them. It was cool. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know. I just felt like they could have done without the lowbrow stuff.
That was, but that was kind of over and done with pretty fast. Once, the movie really kind of structures itself like a lot of a disaster movie would, where it's kind of introducing you to this handful of characters and then the event happens and then you're kind of following them after that. But I said the same thing about Deepwater Horizon. It's a much more well-made, much more suspenseful, much more character-driven movie than a typical disaster movie. Like, this and Deepwater Horizon are night and day from something like San Andreas or something like that. Like, you can see some of the same tropes in it that disaster movies do, but this movie is just way more well crafted, better acted. And what I like about this, and honestly, it's same with Deepwater Horizon, especially this, is that sometimes you just need characters to say fuck.
Yeah.
Like in a situation like that, people are going to say fuck.
Yeah.
And they say it a lot.
Yeah, they do.
In this film. Like, I'm going to find these cocksuckers, I'm going to catch these motherfuckers, and I'm going to put a fucking bullet in their goddamn motherfucking head.
Or even the Asian guy. Now catch those motherfuckers.
Catch those motherfuckers. I hope that guy did that in real life, too. Like, catch those motherfuckers. Sons of bitches. I know who it is. It's the guy from the Rolling Stone cover. Remember that controversy, like because the terrorist dude was on the cover of Rolling Stone after the events, not before.
Oh,
Remember that? Because they were trying to say that they were like glamorizing him or something because he wasn't ugly.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was probably like,
I guess I don't remember that, but
I didn't think anything.
That's pretty crazy, though.
Like, I was like, well, yeah, Charles Manson made the cover of Rolling Stone.
Right.
All right. Like, I don't know. That, if I remember right, that was just one of those Fox traversies. Like, so that story might have came and gone.
Speaking of, I like that too, where they're like, Fox News is going to leak the picture.
Oh, they touch on that. They touch on like the New York Post false bagman thing, and also like somebody leaked the photos to Fox, and they're like, Fox says whether you make them public or not, they're gonna air it in 20 minutes.
Because fair and balanced.
Classy. But what I like about Peter Berg's movies is I didn't think this was a political film. I thought it was just a movie that just about this that happened and all the efforts put together to find these guys. Yeah. I felt that way about Deepwater Horizon. And Peter Berg is way better at doing material like this than Michael Bay when he did that Benghazi movie. Or I mean, you hear a title like Patriots Day, and you might think it'll be something like fucking Last Ounce of Courage with a guy named Bob Revere.
American Sniper.
Right. Well, that's better than like Last Ounce of Courage. But I liked this. I mean, it does. This is a thing that I don't like about a lot of movies like this, and I get why they do it, but it's not a thing I like about movies like this, which is that the last 10 minutes of this movie literally turn into a documentary.
Yeah.
I
love that too, that there was this big group of people that left, and I leaned over to Brad and I was like, oh, hey, look, they're going to leave before the crowd. Because there was like 10 people in the theater all together, and then the documentary starts, and then I lead back into him and I go, I think I see why they left.
Yeah. Like, I understand why they want to do it.
Yeah, they want to show that there was real people. I get that, but
there are documentaries you can watch.
Yeah.
Like, you can have a featurette on the DVD. Like, I mean no disrespect by this at all. I don't. I get why it's there. It does. I'm just saying this as someone who watches the movie and what I think about it.
No, go ahead. It's unnecessary.
It is something that takes me out of the movie.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. It's just going to greater lengths that don't need to be done.
I will say this: they were way better at casting characters who looked like the people they were playing in this.
Yeah.
In comparing it to Deepwater Horizon, which Deepwater Horizon does a similar thing at the end, where it shows like the people that the characters were actually playing. And dude, like,
they were pretty bad, huh?
Yeah, man.
I hadn't seen that movie yet, so
it'd be like if you were watching a movie starring like Jason Statham, and then it shows a picture of the guy he's playing, and it looks like Larry the Cable Guy. Like, again, no disrespect, but boy, do I remember that really taking me out of that movie quite a bit.
Get it done.
He has better comedy chops than Dan Whitney.
Right, I made it,
right. Was there anything else you liked or really disliked about this?
No, I mean it was overall, like you said, it was overall pretty mediocre movie. It wasn't like anything like.
I thought it was above mediocre.
Oh, okay, well.
No, I really enjoyed this.
Adequate.
I was entertained. Like, I mean, the little stuff at the beginning with some of the pandering, and then like some of the stuff towards the end. Yeah, but 90% of the rest of it, I thought it was taut. I thought it was well made. I thought it handled this situation very well. I loved seeing the procedural and how all of this evidence and everything comes together to find out who these guys are, where they're walking, where they're going to. I enjoyed that about this movie. I thought it was a really well done, suspenseful film. There's little gripes I have about it here and there, but I mean, you know, it's not, again, it's not something like fucking Last Ounce of Courage with that, like,
well, maybe that's the difference is that you have recently seen some really bad movies.
That's not the case with this. I would enjoy this regardless. Regardless if I've seen Last Ounce of Courage. This isn't that kind of movie. This isn't that kind of like weird uber patriotism where it's like Last Ounce of Courage literally starts out going like, my name's Bob Revere. I consider myself a patriot. And whenever I see something like that, I'm like, well, dude, okay, one, I didn't ask, and two, I didn't assume you hated the country. That's sort of uber patriotism like that, to me, is like when someone goes around saying, I have a giant dick. It's like, well, I didn't think you had a small one, but now I kind of do. That's how I feel about that. It's like...
My name's Jared Foyles. My name's Jared Foyles, and I consider myself bald.
Me too.
Oh!
I have a rabbit on my head. No, I
share the wealth.
I would recommend this. I really would.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd tell people to go see it. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be like, you know, all excited about it, but yeah.
It sounds like you're gearing more towards you'd recommend it as like a rental. Because even when we came out of the theater, I could tell I enjoyed it much more than you did. But whether you see it in the theater or rental, that's still fine. Like, yeah. I mean, I would recommend seeing it in the theater.
Well, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I've had worse experiences. Zookeeper. Whenever whenever I go on this video and I'd be like, do not see this in the theater. Mm-hmm. You know, I'd tell if somebody wanted to go see it in the theater, I'd be like, okay, cool, you know.
Right. Well,
hell, no. Either way, if you were stupid enough to give something like Zookeeper your money in the theater, then yeah, okay, good for you. But you know,
if you like Deepwater Horizon, you'll like this. If you like United 93, you'll like this. If you like Peter Berg movies, you'll like it. And I, more often than not, really do enjoy Peter Berg's movies. I could understand why you wouldn't want to see it. I mean, this only happened a few years ago, and I understand why people aren't quick to go out and see a movie like this. I've never had a problem with that. Like the whole too soon thing in terms of movies. If it's something that's really cynically done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you got it.
I mean, like right? What do I have a fucking answer to? Except our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So when something like overall, I don't have a problem with a movie like this. I don't really have that blanket too soon thing in terms of movies like this. The only time where I would really is if it's just something that's really cynically done. Like, and look, all movies are made to make money, certainly, and movies about true events in which people died have been happening for 100 years. It's not any kind of new thing. But there's a difference between a movie like this and... Remember the O.J. Simpson story? That TV movie that was made, like, I think while the trial was going on. It was an Alan Smithy movie. There's a difference between something like this and something like that.
Right, yeah.
And so, no, I would recommend it. I totally recommend this movie.
Yeah. Want to talk about trailers?
I don't even remember what trailers we got.
See, we got Fast 8.
Yeah.
Which there was one moment in that trailer that kind of made me chuckle. Was whenever the submarine popped out and Vin Diesel goes, "We're gonna need a bigger truck." I'm like, Jaws reference. Hey, all right.
I've enjoyed most of those movies. I'm sure I'll have fun at that one too.
I will say that franchise. I feel like that franchise has gotten better as it went on. You know, it
has.
It's more of an action movie and less of a street tuners.
I think
porn.
It's still that.
You think it is?
To an extent. One thing with this trailer, I'm like, I get it. You all consider yourself to be a family. I get it. Right. 3 times they dropped that in this trailer. Yeah. I get
We're family, Dom. We're
get it.
Dom. We're family.
Fuck.
Oh, and speaking of Vin Diesel, another trailer we got was Triple X.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. I don't want a bunch of suckers.
I need the extreme.
The insane and the...
Save the world, get the girl, and look dope while you do it. The fuck, 2002. I'm glad to see you come back. Let me just dig out my frosted tipped hair while you're at it. My extreme snacks.
Ooh, where's your Crystal Pepsi?
That's way earlier than it'd be Pepsi Blue, my friend. I don't remember what else we got. Really, I just mainly talk about trailers with Sarah because she always writes them down on her arm. I don't remember what the fuck else we got in front of this.
Let's see.
Oh, the Great Wall.
Oh yeah. That looked really good.
I'm down, man.
You gotta wonder how much of that is like a
true story.
No, I was gonna be like, say like, you gotta wonder how much of this movie is like a sales pitch for Trump's wall.
You gotta keep the monsters out.
That's why I leaned over and said, "They'll take our germs."
I don't know, man. That movie takes place.
Keep the monsters out. What will happen if they get through? They'll take our germs.
This is way different. This movie takes place years ago. It takes place like in the 70s. I don't know. Doesn't it still look like House of Flying Daggers over there? I think that's it, man. we got like on the car's like 2 in the morning. Like I gotta go home and warm my feet.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Wake Laura up with my cold ass ice feet.
Cuddle all up to her, put your feet on her.
Yeah.
Fun times.
All right, well, I'll be back tomorrow. Like, I'll try to do the live thing at some point because it is something that I'd like to do on the site is live midnight screenings. Maybe another time.
I'll have to like watch my mouth when I do this.
No, that's the beauty of doing it live.
Fuck it, do it live.
Yeah. Fucking thing sucks. It did. It shut down.
There's nothing on the teleprompter.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow with monster trucks and Bye Bye Man.
Bye Bye Man.